You probably clicked this video because you'll do whatever it takes to become a better guitarist, right? So let's cut through the crap and get you some results. All right, now let's take a look at this exercise and see what makes it so effective. So a couple things. First, when you saw me play that example a second ago, you may have thought, whoa, that's crazy looking. It looks really difficult, right? It's actually a lot simpler than you think, but I am using all 4 of my fretting fingers, and you will be too. So this is a great exercise for not, it's not gonna let you neglect like your pinky or any of the fingers that you don't play that often. It's gonna really get you to play all 4 of them so that there's, just kind of some even practice time for all of them. You wanna have equal strength across all of your fretting fingers anyway, right? And the other thing is, the reason I call this a boring exercise is because it just takes some patience and some thought, because there is a method to the madness, and I'll explain all of that in just a second. Now, the basis of this exercise revolves around the B chromatic scale. Now, we're not going to dive into the theory about what any of that means. You don't need to understand what a chromatic scale is or the fact that it's in the key of B to be able to play this, right? This is, strictly an exercise, but, just to show you anyway, the B chromatic scale and a chromatic scale in general is 12 notes. In fact, it's all 12 notes between the octaves of 2 notes. So if we have, let's say, B, right? It's the B chromatic scale, and we're trying to get to B at the higher octave, we're playing every single note in the musical alphabet, including all the sharps and flats from that first B to the other B, right? So we're essentially moving from one octave to another without skipping a single note. That's essentially what a chromatic scale is, and it's 12 notes. So check it out. The pattern of it starts here. Kind of acknowledging and knowing what the pattern is helpful. So a pattern of a chromatic scale, like when you start from, let's say, the D string, right? This note right here is B, and we're going to be walking from this B to this B. And the pattern goes like this. So that's the B chromatic scale. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then our octave, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, octave. There's the chromatic scale. So that's what this exercise is based on. So having, just understanding, the pattern and kind of how it plays out is very important so that we get into the actual mechanics of the exercise. So the way this exercise plays out is we start off, you can think of it like there's, for every string except for the high E string, when we reach our octave, we're playing 4 notes per string, right? Particularly on across those strings, right? Those 12 notes of the chromatic scale. Right? But what we're going to do is we're going to start with all 4 on the D string. Then we hit that first note on the G string, and then we walk our way back. So we're descending. And then we're going to ascend again. And we're going to unlock a new fret. And then as we kind of, just cyclically go back and forth, it's like we're slowly, you can almost think of it like you're digging underground, right? And you're just like, with every dig, you're getting a little bit deeper, right? So with every time we hit a fret, on starting on the G string, then we slowly unlock one new fret at a time, and we're moving in this cyclical pattern, right? So we start with the 4 on the D string, and be sure to alternate pick every single note. We want to pick it down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, just constantly alternating. You're not going to be playing or doing the same stroke twice, right? So it's always alternate picking. Got to make sure that you stick to that with this exercise. So we do the first 4 notes, right? Then when we get that note on the G string, we come back around to it, we unlock another fret, then we unlock another, and then another. So you kind of get the idea, right? And we're just unlocking more and more frets until we finally reach our high octave. And once we reach that octave, we walk all the way down and we just conclude it there, right? And of course, the speed, when it comes to speed, start slow, get the hang of just kind of how this exercise plays out. It's very important. And that's kind of why it's really going to require some patience and some thought, right? As you're thinking about what position you're in currently with the exercise, what frets have you unlocked, and what you're, anticipate what you're going to unlock, all that kind of, it's kind of a fun little game, right? So you want to think of it that way. And once you wrap your head around it, then you can start to focus on what tempos to play it at. Now, of course, I'm always going to recommend that you start slow so you can really get the hang of it, right? You want to develop a sense of comfort and synchronization, right, with your fretting hand and your picking hand. And once all of that is just kind of working together nicely, even if it's at a really slow tempo, that's your starting point. And then you just gradually build up speed very slowly in relatively small increments. But that way, as you're increasing speed, you're maintaining your comfort level with it. So that even when you're playing it like at a blinding speed, you're playing it very cleanly and very precisely. So just to quickly recap, this is based on the B chromatic scale, right? And as we play through it, we're going to be unlocking frets as we go, right? We start with all 4 notes on the D string. And then what kind of kicks it off is the first note on the G string, right? Then we walk our way back around. And then when we come back to that note, we add another note. And it's just this constant motion, right? And you're also alternate picking the entire way through. And once you reach that octave, right, we just walk our way back down the scale. And you can just end it right there. So you've just learned a powerful new exercise for your practice sessions. An exercise that will improve your dexterity, clean up your chops, sync up both your hands so that you can now play better all around. And now you know that you want to continue to see bigger results from short, powerful practice sessions. Am I right? That's why I am giving you this bad boy right here. The ultimate practice session cheat sheet. This has helped thousands of guitar players get the most results in the least amount of time possible with their practice sessions. So be sure to click here to claim your copy or check the link in the description box. If you enjoyed this lesson, be sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. And be sure to check out some of our other relevant lessons right over here. I want to thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. I'm Eddie with Guitar Mastery Method, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.